A stain on Florida's past may soon finally be resolved. After 7 decades of pain and struggle, family members of the Groveland Four may finally get their wish. Earlier this year, newly elected Governor Ron DeSantis posthumously pardoned the men who were wrongfully accused of raping a white woman in 1949.
I think that the way this was carried out was a miscarriage of justice.
Now, state leaders are making the final push to completely exonerate the men. In addition to a bill calling for the Groveland Four to be fully exonerated, Agriculture Commissioner Nikki Fried also introduced a proclamation today calling on the state to make this right.
Channel 9's Carla Ray listened in on that Tallahassee press conference. And Carla, the legislation being introduced has bipartisan support.
Yeah, and the point here is that there is a difference between a pardon and an exoneration. A pardon excuses someone's crimes, and exoneration makes it clear no crime was ever committed.
Considered one of Central Florida's greatest injustices, it has been 70 years since 3 black men and 1 black teen from Groveland were falsely accused of rape.
Charlie Greenlee, Ernest Thompson, Samuel Shepard, and Walter Irvin.
Today, Agriculture Commissioner Nikki Fried called once again for a full exoneration of the Groveland Four.
History books should reflect the truth. The Groveland Four were falsely accused of crimes they never committed.
In July 1949, Sheriff Willis McCall investigated claims from a 17-year-old girl who said she was kidnapped and raped on a dark stretch of road outside of Groveland. Records show 22-year-olds Samuel Shepard and Walter Irvin were beaten into confessing, along with 16-year-old Charles Greenlee. And Ernest Thomas, who was 26 at the time, was shot to death by a sheriff's posse when he tried to run. Evidence later collected by the FBI and others showed inconsistencies in the young woman's story, as well as a medical report that did not confirm she was raped.
We know that justice delayed is justice denied, and we should have nothing short than full exoneration, so I totally support this bill, and I know that the cabinet will do the same in due time.
Today, Republican State Representative Anthony Sabatini joined Democratic State Representative Geraldine Thompson, who's been asking for full exoneration since 2014, introducing bipartisan legislation to exonerate the Groveland Four once and for all, following their posthumous pardon earlier this year.
That's what happens when you excuse the conduct of an individual who is guilty. You pardon them. But exoneration clears their name and acknowledges their innocence, and that is the reason that we are here today.
Now, Fried called on Governor Ron DeSantis to exonerate the Groveland Four during the same clemency hearing earlier this year in which they were pardoned. At the time, he said it was an issue that the Attorney General would look into, but now it has been almost a year. We'll see if 2020 is the year that they are finally exonerated. In studio, Carla Ray, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.